on the floor as a professional.
Truth be told, there's only 1 minute or less left in this fight, and I'm just going to start my video earlier. Hey, listen. I do admit, Eubank Jr. is getting better, or it seems as though he's getting better, especially defensively. I don't like when he turns his backs against fighters, especially a fighter like Arthur Abraham, because you don't want to be getting hit in the back of your head. You know, you don't want those type of problems. And the way he be turning his back, it's like, yo, you can't do that in professional boxing. You know, his pop should talk to him about that. He's leaving himself open for danger, especially for a frustrated fighter whose ass he's whooping. Now, one thing about Arthur Abraham that we've learned is that it was 20 seconds left in the fight. One thing that we learned about Arthur Abraham is that he does have a chin. You know, dude fought with a brutally broken jaw. You know, and he's never been stopped before. And to see the uppercuts that Chris Eubank Jr. was hitting him with, even those body shots, I was like, how is this dude still standing? But even though he's only 37 years old, you would think he was like 45 or some shit. He's got a lot of miles on him and a lot of big fights. Unfortunately, he's lost all of his big fights outside of, you know, the first Paul Smith fight. I feel as though Paul Smith should have won. The second one, I feel as though Paul Smith clearly lost. And of course, Arthur Abraham beat Martin Murray, and he does have that big knockout win defeat over Jermaine Taylor, when Jermaine Taylor was good. But now looking at things, you know, it's looking like that now Arthur Abraham is on his way to being like the gatekeeper, because really, looking at it, what can he do, right? So the fight just ended. We're going to wait for the post-fight interviews. Actually, we have to listen to the cards first, you know, and then wait for the post-fight interview. And now it looks like Chris Eubank Jr. is on his way to that World Boxing Super Series $25 million tournament for that weight division. It's a $50 million tournament for the 168-pound division and the 200-pound cruiserweight division. And now Chris Eubank Jr., who clearly won tonight, is on his way to that tournament that has all the best, you know, 168-pounders. So it's really going to be interesting. I would love to see him against a George Groves or a Colin Smith. You know, shit is going to be lit. So, I'm Teaching Controversy. This is Teaching Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Excuse me for the content that you see. A lot of it is late. Is because, you know, I'm pretty much new to this as far as being like the whole, you know, media guy and you know, editor-in-chief of a website and getting people to fights and getting myself to fight. So I really didn't give this fight the proper coverage that I wanted to, because I've been traveling and also coordinating this Mayweather-McGregor press tour, which has taken a lot out of me. So what we're doing is we're waiting for the cards, and I'm blessed, honestly. Thank you to the Sportsman UK, the Sportsman.com UK. Listen, like, we're going to get, we got some major things planned. We're going to get a lot better, especially as I'm still learning, you know, the whole media thing. So thank you to them. We're working with the Sportsman over in the UK, and you know, they helped us, you know, by supplying interviews with Chris Eubank Sr., Chris Eubank Jr., Huey Fury, Tyson Fury, Peter Fury, Dominic Engel, you know, and some more people. You know, so let me see.
Get confirmation of that by hearing from our MC Phil Seymour to get the particulars of this verdict.
We're waiting to read the cards. We already know who won.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an amazing 12-round action. Can you please show your appreciation for both boxers? We go to our judges' scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Judge Oliver Green of Germany and Marcus McDonald of England scored the contest 118-110. Steve Weisfeld of the USA scored the contest 120-108. All three judges scoring in favour of your winner. And still the IBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Chris Eubank.
Is there a lot of Abraham fans from Germany up in there? What are they booing?
Well, those scores that you heard were indicative of what, in many ways, was a one-sided fight.
Let's wait for the post-fight interview. Also, another thing, don't be surprised that if somebody gets injured in that World Boxing Super Series tournament, that Arthur Abraham may take their place. So, even though he may seem like he's out of the tournament right now, don't be surprised if he takes somebody's place for whatever reason.
And inside ring pressing, he used the jab to good array as well.
But that's a solid win for Chris Eubank Jr.'s record, in my opinion. A solid win. And I'm very impressed with his performance. Very impressed.
I think also as well, our frame man is clear to see now he's reigning at the top level of his over. But again, like Jude said, the uppercuts are a quick of beauty from Eubank Jr. and I certainly believes in improvement as a fighter.
You don't want to be taking that kind of punishment at the age of 37, do you?
No, it's not 3 rounds is a tough
He should be pissing blood.
I've always said he's built to take a great shot. He's never been stopped like other than an uppercut or an injury. And but it's not nice to see. He took a lot of big shots there.
But it wouldn't be a Eubank without a bit of posturing and posing going on in the far corner, which will, it's just it's the package. It's what you get, isn't it? And in terms from a boxing point of view, or as you were saying at the start, this was a step up in the boxing level. How would you assess the way he passed the exam?
Yeah, well, he passed it with flying colours. Arthur Abraham, we've seen so much of him. He's boxed so many Brits now. He's been around for so long, and it would be a foregone conclusion, really. What you expect tonight is Eubank, who throws an all.
That's running a little long. So the guy that he's going to face is I forgot how to pronounce his name. I forgot how to pronounce this dude's name. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you who's going to be fighting in the I forgot how to pronounce his name. Yilidrim. I know I'm butchering his name, but oh wait, they're about to start the post-fight interview. Here we go. Let's go to the post-fight interview.
Was that the hardest fight of your career so far?
They're all hard. He's definitely the most durable opponent I've ever faced. You know, this guy he hasn't been stopped for a reason. I hit him with every punch in the book. And I know I hurt him. I know I hurt him bad, but I couldn't get him out of there. But still, the statement was made. I shut this guy out. He's a world level fighter, and he didn't win a round against me. I'm happy with the performance.
Did you think at any point there, would you please just go away?
You know what? It's one of those things. I got to show my boxing skills. I got to go to 12 rounds, and get the experience in. I'm going into a tournament now, Super 8, to get this man's belt. So this was actually the first time in my career that I laid off in the final round. Because I thought, you know what? I'm about to go into the Super 8 tournament. I can't risk getting cut. I can't risk anything. So let me just pace it, and I've got the win. Any thoughts on that, Jim?
He's fighting. I can't remember the lad you picked now, but he's got to get through a fight. I've got to get through a fight. He might meet in the semi-final.
I mean, unless you...
I'm confident we're going to meet. I mean, don't forget, I instigated the draw. I made sure you was number 3, and therefore we would meet in the semi-finals. I mean, this is the lad earlier, hopefully, it's all very well. Then I don't need to leave home. I can win the whole thing and stay in the UK. So, what else to say about it?
Hey Dad, was that the best that your boy's fought that you've in his career so far?
Well, you know, what I'm going to do, what I would like is for the newspapers to do a poll and see, social media, let's hear what they thought of his performance. I mean, I've been saying for years that this is one of the most talented fighters on the planet, if not the most talented fighter on the planet, and we're just now about to prove it in the Super 8 series, where the best fighters in the world at super middleweight will be competing against each other. And whoever is not involved in it is suspect.
You are obviously slightly biased, man. We have to say that.
I haven't said anything biased. I believe he's the best in the world. He's proved it again tonight. And over the coming 9 months, from September, he will be able to actually clean the slate, come away with the Muhammad Ali Trophy, the WBA, to keep his IBO, and to take away also the WBC Diamond title.
Tell me, when your dad say anything in the corner at the end of each round, do you sometimes say, Dad, leave me to it. I know what I'm doing. I'm happy.
He knows I know what I'm doing. He knows the hard work and the sacrifices I make to get to make these type of performances. He's just there to, someone has to say something.
He did just stop by speaking, my bad.
I know what I'm
He's
doing.
never short of a few words. Are you an entertainer who boxes or a boxer who entertains?
I'm a warrior. I do what I need to do to get the win. And if I can look sexy while I'm doing it at the same time, then so be it.
I mean, is there a conscious effort? Because there were moments tonight when the crowd just loved it. When you were showboating in the middle of a round. Is that it?
You call it showboating. I call it technique.
Well, you're playing to the crowd, aren't you?
No. I'm not fighting for the crowd. I'm fighting to beat the man in front of me.
Yeah,
I'm doing whatever I can to get into this man's head to stop him from punching me in the face.
Okay, I get that. But when you turn to the crowd in the middle of a round and start doing this, It's not a tactic.
I think he caught me with a shot, and the crowd went, ooh. And I looked at him like, come on. And that's not for the crowd, that's to let him know, but you didn't hurt me, you haven't got anything on this.
George, offer us a verdict on, if you were marking out of 10 tonight, what would you give him?
You can't ask this guy that, he's about to fight me soon.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
So the right answer for him is to say it's a 1 out of 10, so keep his confidence going. You know what's going to happen when we get into the ring. It's going to be a spectacular fight. The whole of Britain wants to see it. And after I beat him, I'm done with it again.
We'll let you go now. Listen, congratulations, Chris. Chris, good to see you again. Anyway, George, we'll leave it just for a sec. What's your take generally on where Chris is at the moment now?
He's a World Cup.
Ooh. Now remember, they both have opponents that they have to fight first. Chris Eubank is fighting what is it, Anvi? Yilidrim? I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name. But by the time we get to that tournament, I'm going to know all about him. We'll start watching his fights. In my personal, honest opinion, who do you think wins between George Groves, if they do fight? Because remember, they both have opponents in front of them. Who wins between Chris Eubank Jr. and George Groves? George Groves is the better boxer, but with that style, we've seen that Groves also has issues with pressure fighter power punches. It's hard for me to see George Groves dealing with that. You see what I'm saying? But George Groves does have power, and Chris Eubank Jr. plays around too much. Even in the 11th round of this fight against Abraham cracked him with something. It was the 11th round because basically, Chris Eubank Jr. started showboating. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm Teacher Controversy. This is Teacher Controversy Live. I have about 50 minutes or so before this PBC on Fox card starts. Then after that, the HBO card with Barchuk versus Miura. So, I have a very long night as well as a whole bunch of interviews and everything to upload. Please subscribe. I'm Teacher Controversy. This is Teacher Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live.